Hey everyone, welcome to the Software Circle meetup for October. As you all know, we are doing this every month, and this is the time for month of October. And happy Dasara to everyone whoever is watching on the YouTube. So let me share the screen quickly so that we can check. Okay, I hope you guys can see the screen. So this is our Software Circle channel, where we have more than 90 connects. You can see. And anyone can come join this channel and they can ask the question. This is our YouTube channel where we have uploaded more than 100 videos till now, and we have around 1.75 subscriber as well. Means 70, it's more than 1700 subscriber till now. And this is our Software Circle LinkedIn profile, where you can see we have more than 3000 followers. So this is a great platform where anyone can come, join, contribute, or share the knowledge, or can ask a question and get the solution. And for today's panel, we have Ratnesh with us, who is going to give us introduction and some knowledge sharing session he will have for Jenkins. He will also see some live demos as well. And at the end, we'll have the question answer session. So this is the LinkedIn profile of Ratnesh. He is right now a manager in Capgemini, and you can connect with him. You can ask him question related to DevOps profile or Jenkins, CI/CD, and anything. Okay. Now let's stop share. And Ratnesh, over to you.
Thank you, Jitendra. Hello, friends. I am Ratnesh Sidhe, and today I'm going to share my knowledge on Jenkins and CI/CD. So we'll discuss on this: what is CI/CD and what is Jenkins, and how can we install Jenkins at our local system. So, Jitendra, can we start?
Yeah, let's get started. You can share the screen, and then we will go through the theory part and the practical part.
Yeah. So friends, initially we'll go with our presentation with theoretical part. I mean, how with the screenshots and the flow, we'll understand what is Jenkins, what is CI/CD, and how does it look. And after completing this explanation, we'll go for a short demo. How can we install, or how can we individually install Jenkins at Windows system? So during this session, I will also let you know what should be the configuration to install Jenkins in local system, and along with that, the detailed process to install Jenkins.
I think this will be really great. Yes, thank you.
So, okay, Jitin, I'm sharing my screen now.
Yep.
Okay. So today we are discussing about continuous integration and deployment using especially Jenkins. So first of all, we'll see today what we are going to achieve during this session. So at the end of this session, we'll know what is continuous integration and continuous development, what are the tools available for CI/CD. In short, continuous integration and continuous development. In short, we call it CI/CD. What is Jenkins? How can we install Jenkins or local system? How does it start? And we'll see the screen where we can create our first job. And at the end, we'll see the workflow, how where these Jenkins come into the picture during a development process. So how developer can commit and how Jenkins read the code. At the end, we'll see that.
Okay.
So first, see a theoretical definition about continuous integration. Continuous integration is a software development method where team members, or we can say developers, integrate their work at least once a day or more. In this method, every integration is checked by an automated build to detect errors. In continuous integration, after a code commit, the software is built and tested immediately. So the definition state that very initial very initial level, I mean, before Jenkins and before this DevOps tools, before CI/CD, what we were used to do, we have an IT team. We are developing our software or any web application. If suppose I want to change any part of that code, so I will change that code. I will run Maven script. I will prepare its war file. Then I will give it to IT team. Then IT team will deploy on server. Then again I will test. Now, in this case, what happens? Challenge is that if it is once in a day, then it is really feasible. We can do that. But if it is more than one time or repeatedly, then really it is difficult to maintain for IT team or for deployment also. So to maintain this continuous process, because for example, I am deploying something in morning and noon I found I have one another bug and I need to fix it. Then I will fix it. I will again create its war or deployable file and I will assign to IT team. Then again they will do the same task. So it goes little costly and time consuming task. So a couple of years before we were introduced with CI/CD and Jenkins. So here you can see the diagram. A developer is developing and committing in the source control. That can be SVN, that can be Git. Then it goes for build. Build start automatically. Once build is start, then it test test cases automatically internally. I means how does test passed or not? All test cases are passed or not. Then after, if it is successful, this is called pipeline. If this pipeline is successful, a report will generate, will show if there is any errors in build errors, or what are the errors there, in which file we are getting errors, in which method in our code we are getting errors. So in that report, we can see that. And once report is successful, then it is ready to release. We can deploy it on UAT server, test server, or any stage server, or a production line. So this diagram demonstrates this one. Now let's see the features of CI. I will go one by one. It allows you to maintain just a single source repository. Definitely, you can test the clone of the production CI environment. The built environment should be close to the production environment. One of the advantages of continuous integration is constant availability of a current build. This I found a very main feature. As I stated earlier, the deployment file we need to give to the IT team, then they were deploying. So using this CI/CD is showing constant availability. Means anytime you can commit and anytime that build will be ready after a successful pipeline process. The complete process of build and testing and deployment should be visible to all the stakeholders. It means that for I have 4 developers or 5 developers team, or I have senior manager, I have technical architect. So this is totally visible what I am committing, how does it process, what are the errors. So at any stage, anyone can see and anyone can check the log. Anyone can see what is in process and when it can be complete. So this is totally visible to all of the stakeholders who are the part of the deployment process or the development process. These are the main features of CI. Yes, so there are features, so there are disadvantages also. So initial setup time and training is required to get acquainted with CI servers. That's true. Initial, if you want, after this theoretical discussion, we'll see the practical side. So you can see, means we need setup, and now this session is recorded. So many people who are very beginner or new to it, so if they follow this session, they will get the training, and they should know what is CI server. So this is required. Development of suitable test procedures is essential. So we need the test procedures for it. Well-developed test suite required many resources for CI server. We need test cases and test suites for it. Conversion of familiar process. Everyone should be familiar with the process, and it requires additional servers and environment. Yes, little costly. I mean, as comparatively, we need proper environment for this. We need proper servers. We need resources to maintain this pipeline. Waiting times may occur when multiple developers want to integrate their code around the same time. Yes. Now, for example, I am taking example of 5 6 developers, but it is not sure uh, only 5 developers will work. There can be 100, there can be 200. Now, throughout a day, if everyone is committing their code and wants to deploy, then waiting time will increase in that case. So these are the main some couple of disadvantages of CI. So now to achieve this CI process, we have three tools with us: Jenkins, Bamboo, and TeamCity. So Bamboo and Jenkins both are highly people use it, but we prefer to go with Jenkins. So let's switch to Jenkins. Now, what is Jenkins? Jenkins is an open source continuous integration server written in Java, especially for orchestrating a chain of actions to achieve the continuous integration process in an automated fashion. So orchestrating a chain, I mean, it will give you a proper process, step by step. Step one, the code is commit and code is committed to the any version control. Now Jenkins will read that part, that SVN path. It will observe one change, then it will start again a build, automated build. Then it will, if there is an error or whatever will be the status of that, then we configure our email IDs into that. So all the stakeholders which requires to check the status of that process, so we'll get an email notification. So continuous integration process says it is an automated fashion. Now see, this is the same which we discussed earlier. We commit the code in our version control. It is ready to build. It goes for test. Then it move to stage, and at the end we deploy it. So this is the pipeline. I mean, this is a process which happens internally in Jenkins and in an automated way. Now, before this, first we should know what is a basic prerequisites for us to install Jenkins at our local system. So, minimum hardware requirements is 256 MB of RAM. It is required. 1 GB of drive space. Although, as much as possible, you can take it. I mean, you can go for 10 GB as well. If we have Docker container to running Jenkins, then required some more disk space. 1 GB of RAM recommended, and recommended 50 GB of drive space for a small team. I mean, it is at team level, but at local level we can work with 256 MB of RAM also, or 500 as well. So for greater team, we require to maintain that process. So RAM should be high and drive space should be there. Now, what are the software requirements for this? So either Java 8, we need JRE, and that is actually fine. If same, if it is in Docker container, so this is not requirement. I mean, for Docker container. Now here I have provided one link where you can download the latest version of Jenkins. So so when you will hit this URL, directly your download will start. It will download MSI file of Jenkins, and which will help us to install at our local system. So in the next screen, you will see when you will start your installation, you will see this screen, and click on next button. So here it will ask you to installation path, where do you want to install your Jenkins. So you can select your path here, click on next. Here, logon type, I mean, you can run as a service at local systems, and here you can give your any password, whatever you want to give. Account name, here it will be the user ID kind of for account name, here password, and you need to test these credentials. Okay, so test it here, then the next button will be activate once you click on test credentials. So if you go to the next, it will ask for your port number. Now, when you enter 8080, so it will ask you to test whether it is port is free or it is already in use. So when you click on test port, it will give sign of right button if it is successful. So when it is successful, the next button will activate and you can go to the next screen. Here is the next screen. Here you need to select path of your JDK at your local system. So you can change or you can use whatever path. Usually by default, it automatically picks this path. We need not to explicitly mention it, but in cases, if you want to change any to any other version, then here you can change it. Go to the next screen. Here it will ask you and you will switch to the next. Now this is ready to install and click on install. Our installation will start here. Now it will take some time, 2-3 minutes it will take. And once it installs, you can go to the services in control panel, and here you can see after successful installation, Jenkins will automatically start. It will show you in running state. Now here we have installed successfully. Now we can see Jenkins server is up automatically once it installs. Now uh, here very first time, if you are installing your Jenkins at your local system, so when you will hit this path localhost colon 8080, it will show this page first. What happens? It generates a Jenkins war file internally, and this path will generate app data local Jenkins. After successful installation, this Jenkins folder will create at this path, and at this path, this initial admin password file is there. Inside that file, automated generated password available. So we need to go to this path. We will copy that path and we will paste it here. This is the administrator password. So what happens now? I'm going to the next screen. Step 2, as I said, we need to copy that password and enter. So here this kind of password is available inside this notepad, initial admin password file. Now on the unlock, this will unlock your Jenkins. I mean, you are next, you are ready to work. Here are the commands in where you can start your jenkins.exe space start. This will start your service. Similarly, jenkins.exe space stop. It will stop your Jenkins. And to restart, jenkins.exe space restart. It will restart your Jenkins. Now, after successful installation, this would be your first page to create our basic job in Jenkins. So till here, we will see in today's demonstration how we are installing our Jenkins and local system, and this page will see. So after this, you can enter your item name. Item name, it means your name of your first job. Select freestyle project here and click on OK. At the end, if you install Jenkins on a window machine, select execute window batch command from the list. In this dropdown, you can see the first option. So if it is installed at Windows, then select your first option. Now this is your first job. You can see it will look like. So this is your first job, and build now will start your build process manually if you want to start. Sometimes what happened, sometimes we want to explicitly start our build. It does not start automatically, or at certain time we know, I mean, Jenkins will not receive any update, but we want to rebuild the process. So we'll click on build now, and the automated this process will start after clicking on build now. Go to the next. Here it will show you in the side menu. We have started first job. Once the job is completed successfully, this icon ball you can see color will turn from gray to blue. This build number keeps increment every time, #1. So in the next time it will be #2. So it shows how many times you have executed the build. Again, it can be customized to your choice. Once the build is complete, you would notice the time of build completion in front of build number. Along with it, there is a small black triangle which can be used to see various details with the build. So here you can see this is Feb 10, 2017. I just taken this screenshot, and it's a time is there, and near that is a triangle button is there. When you click on this, so it will give entire detail of this build. Now here, these are the indicates the build completion time, changes. This provides changes made for this build. Console output, it will show the detail, log, file details, and at the console. And this hash number is actually a hash number, I mean number of build. So this is your first build, so it will be #1. In the next, below this, next build will start. And we have another option, delete also. We can delete this build or this process. So we have delete option as well. The console output will it will look like this. At the time of success, at the end you will see finished : success. So it means your job is ready and it is ready to deploy. And it did not find it does not find any error in that. Now see how does Jenkins build work. Actually, a high level diagram we will see. So we have I have taken example of GitHub, though it could be SVN and it could be any other version control. So for example, one developer is there, and developer is writing their code. Now I committed my code and I'm pushing my branch into the GitHub. I will configure GitHub with Jenkins. So once GitHub accept some changes or any commit and push or new changes, Jenkins will observe that change, since we have configured our GitHub repository into the Jenkins, and the build will trigger automatically. Now, if build successful, then you can see at UI that build is successful. If it fails, then entire team will notify that this build number is failed. Team, I mean to say, we need to mention email IDs all the stakeholders into the Jenkins configuration in job configuration. So it will email to all those email IDs what we have mentioned in that configuration. So this is how a developer can know is that is his build is ready or not, or and what happened, what is the status of that. So this is a little higher. It is more little detail that was in terms of a single developer. Here we can use more than one or three. Every developer committing their changes into the source code in version control. So we are using Git repository. So developer 1, developer 2, they are doing their changes into their own branch. Now all that branches they are committing into one repository. Now, once that repository have the change, Jenkins will read those changes, and again it will start one new build, and Jenkins server will activate, and that build process will start. So now, after that build server, successful Jenkins deploys the build application on the test server, whatever we have configured. So this is an example of Selenium. Once that test server successfully done, then it will move to the production and application is ready for production servers. So this is it shows how actually a Git repository Jenkins is working and how we are deploying our code at the central repository and at the production server. Now after this, I hope I was able to explain all the details using these screens. Now we will go for one small demonstration at local system. So just a minute. I'm stopping sharing, Jitendra, and I will reshare my desktop.
Sure. And this was really great, in very detailed in nature, like the installation step and other steps that we have seen for Jenkins. It's really going to help anyone who is new to Jenkins And even for the one like we are using every day, but the smaller steps that you try to cover today is really helpful.
Yeah, especially who are very new. I mean, and freshers or beginner who never worked on Jenkins. So really, this will help. And if they follow these steps, definitely they will be able to install Jenkins at their local, and they can go more research and development at their own personal level.
Yeah, and for professionals also, like we use,
Yes.
but we don't know how it's was set up using by the DevOps team.
Yeah.
So even for the experienced people, like in many larger organizations, this is responsibility of DevOps team. Developers are not involved, so everyone is going to be benefited from this PPT presentations. Yeah.
So. As I mentioned in PPT, the installation path, I'm sharing my screen and we'll go in detail. Here I entered that path and click on it. See, installation is started directly. The MSI file is there and it will take some time to download. Once it downloads, we'll go for installation.
Sure. So by the time it downloads, I had one question that maybe we can answer. So you mentioned about the notification part, like if builds success, then it notifies. Build fails, then it notifies. What kind of notification goes to the? Is it email or SMS? What kind of a notification it is?
In case of email notification, we mentioned email ID in that Jenkins configuration. So in that Jenkins configuration, it will give the status of the build number, and build details. It will mention this link for to view that console and to go to that build path. That link it will mention, and in that it will show the state whether it is failure or success, and a little brief about the a log, what is the error in that. So that email contains enough detail to understand that now build is fail and we need to go and we need to check it.
Okay. And the other question was related to, so one of the drawbacks that you mentioned is about the timing. Like if many people want to deploy at the same time, we have to wait one after another. But for the integration part, like that is true for deployment, correct? Because server will be one and one after another, only code gen can be deployed. But for integrate CI part, whenever someone creates the PR, so in a team, if we have suppose 10 developers, for 10 developers parallelly 10 for 10 PR, different PR, the CI can be run. Like CI will not include CD, which means not the deployment part, but the integration part can be run parallelly for each. This is just to clarify for if anyone
Yes.
understood the statement that we had made during the presentation.
Yes, right.
We're talking about the CD
Yeah.
part, not the CI part for that drawback.
Yes, now this is downloaded. I'm resharing my screen. So this is downloaded here. Now I'm going to start it. Installation. See, this is our first screen. Go to the next. I'm installing my Jenkins at this path. So here we can use the local account number and password. But I'm for now I'm using as a local system. Let's demonstrate everyone. So this is admin. Let's go for it now. Here 8080, it will check the availability of this port. So we need to click on test. Now this port is available. So we'll go to next. Here my Java JDK 1.8 is installed. So we'll go here next and the next. Now it will ready to install. So now we are here. This one.
Yeah, this is really great. It's relating it to the PPT as well at the same time.
Now let's finish. Our Jenkins installation is done. Now we'll go and we'll check the setup. So this is the service control panel. We can see this Jenkins running here. See, this is my local, and you can see after some time this will start running.
So right now it's automatic. So
Yes.
It is in start state because start is disabled. It means it is started.
Sorry, my system seems a little slow. We have to wait some time. This status will change to running, so it should show.
Yeah. And after that, we can navigate to the browser for 8080 to check the Jenkins.
Yeah, see, the status changed to running.
Great.
This is what it is here, running.
It looks like zero bug demo. What?
Pardon?
It looks like zero bug demo where we till now we didn't face any issue. And this is live. This is not recorded. So guys, you can see.
It will show us page after some time.
Yeah, right. And the minimum configuration that Pratnesh has told us in the beginning, how much RAM minimum it's required. It also depends on your system performance, the performance of Jenkins. I have seen people are using cloud these days, like in organizations, people typically host it on different public cloud providers such as AWS from Amazon or from Google Cloud GCP. People are hosting over there. And in fact, we have done a few more videos on DevOps, like along with this, which will totally relate to this demo what we are doing today. You can check out the Software Circle YouTube channel where many videos have been published earlier related to DevOps topics. Balram has done a lot of work on the Azure related to DevOps.
It's taking unusual long time actually.
And no worries.
It happens on that demo time.
And since we talked that it is going to be zero bugs, bug has started coming. Since we talk about the bug, but it will come as shown in the PPT. Okay.
Yes, surely. These are all screenshots from my installation only. So meanwhile that is coming, I explain you. I mean, what is going to happen next. So when we hit this local 8080, so as I stated earlier, at very first stage, if you're installing your Jenkins very first time, you will see this page. This page says Jenkins is currently logged, we need some password, administrator password. When we install our Jenkins, then it automatically create one file folder along with the detail. This Jenkins folder you can see inside the local. This is automatically created. Inside that we have .jenkins folder. Inside that we have secrets folder, and inside that we have one text file initial admin password. So we need to go to this path. We'll open this initial admin password file. We will copy paste that path over here. Then we can go to the next screen. It will unlock, and we are able to see this file looks like this. That is step 3. So this all set up. In that case, now everything is set up after this entering this password. And for your information, this is Jenkins. If you want to start from command prompt, let me see if yes. See, very first time as we see.
Right.
This is the file what we are expecting. Here you can see now we will check the same file at this path. See, this is the folder .jenkins secrets. Here is the file. Now we will open this file. We'll copy this password and we'll enter here and click on continue. Here are the couple of steps which actually I did not mention in our PPT, since this is not exactly relevant. I mean, here everyone can do now. We are installed. So we need to select some plugins. When we click here, it will give me some options like this. Here are the some plugins which if you want to install. So right now I don't want it. I will uncheck it.
So these plugins can be installed later on as well.
Yes, you can do that.
Great.
For example, this email extension. For now, I'm just doing this. It should not give me any error during the installation. That's why. Now let's click on it, install. See, this is a build. Wait.
And whether you install it on Windows or Mac or Linux, the setup process will remain same.
Only the almost this setup will be always same. Yeah.
Most of the thing.
Most of the things will be remain same.
Such as path, another thing which is specific to system.
Path will change definitely. It will be as per the Linux system user USR path. It could be. Though I don't have Linux OS at my system, so I cannot tell that exactly what will the path. But path will definitely change, and the rest of the things will be same. I mean, anyone will not find any difficulty to install it.
Great. And DevOps and CI/CD, these are like very trendy for last 3-4 years.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really
every organization is used. Without this, I mean, things are incomplete.
Yeah, and if you're applying for any jobs also, this is getting asked from the developer also.
Yes, at very low level, even 3-4 years, 5 years, people expect everyone should know this Jenkins nowadays. I mean, about DevOps nowadays. How does it process, especially?
Yeah. So DevOps is an essential part of training these days.
See, create first admin user. Now I will give here my username admin. I will add one password. I will confirm my password. I will enter my name. This confirmation required. save and continue. This is Jenkins URLs at local. Now save and finish. Now we are starting our Jenkins. Jenkins is ready. It confirms. Start using Jenkins. See, this is our first job. What I want to say, this is here. We are here now.
Great.
Right now, from here, we have a different configuration. I mean, how to configure Jenkins. So I would suggest, Jitendra, if you can set up a different session for this, so we can show how we are configuring our Jenkins job and how we are committing our code. So we can have another session on GitHub, which will configure using our Jenkins. We'll try it our system. And I would suggest another session for the same. I think.
Yes, totally agreed. So I think this was really great for the beginners, how to set up. So the setup is done. We had learned the initials of CI/CD part. Now creating a job and the CI part that Ratnesh has showcased in one of the slides. How if you will commit something on GitHub or GitLab. And or CSV, for example, and how it pulls the data, how the jobs are created, how the jobs runs, and the CI steps that is involved, like the unit test and building step, and everything, automation test, how it runs. So we definitely need a session, and we'll set up maybe next month. We'll try to set up. So this is going, since we are doing this every month. So in the next coming months, we'll definitely have a session around it. Yeah, this was really great. So just two questions I have now from this. So one question was the initial password or the secret that we have shared. We have seen here. So if anyone is trying at organizational level, please don't share that anywhere. And if you the first admin user that we have created, please don't share those credentials as well. If now next question is from for this. So if we have suppose 4-5 team members who is working on Jenkins from the DevOps side, we can create users for them, right? Like they don't need to share the same credentials. Your audio is muted, Ratnesh.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, that we can do. We all have a user ID by default, which is configured with Git. And whatever you are committing, that will go with your email ID and user ID identification. So like that, we can configure many developers for that, because actually we are not configuring anything into the Jenkins. We actually committing our code inside the Git. It will pick from Git. So it will take all the details, who committed this code and what are the files are there, what are the changes are there. So everything we can see.
Yeah, right. And whenever something fails, you will, as Ratnesh told us, that you will get the email notification that can also be configured. And if if the developer want, he can come to this Jenkins job and see the details, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in the next session, we'll see some failures and some success examples. We'll try to add some bugs to fail it, and then we'll get success. We'll also see the notification part. This was really great, Ratnesh.